A secret letter from the Imperial Court, dated the 17th of Light, 1,989 years after the fracturing of the firmament. Recovered on the 22nd of Flame in the same year. Author unknown. Dearest Asher, I hope the summer weather has treated you and your Noxburian friends well. I may be in the twilight years of my life, but I can still remember a time before I lived on the floating isles of the cradle, and how the unpredictability of nature could spoil even the most pleasant of evenings. After much consideration, I've decided to accept your request. I can think of no man more worthy of this sacred artifact than you. Your cunning and ambition have surely won you many enemies over the years, but you know as well as I that all power is born from friction and sacrifice. Your eagerness to challenge the old gods reminds me of the immortal Emperor himself. I truly hope that you two can meet in person someday, as I am sure you would become fast friends. Nevertheless, don't let my message of warmth and praise obscure the reality of our machinations. Not another soul can ever learn about your plan, nor its implications for the city's future. Even one as charismatic as you would fail to calm His Majesty's wrath if he learned of your methods. That isn't to say that what you're doing is unjust, only that it is not respected by those with the highest authority. I do not wish to criticize His Majesty or his admirable plan to invade the heavenly domain itself, but it would be a lie to say I am fully content with his strategies. Countless generations have lived and died as he's plotted and planned every last detail of his future campaign. Perhaps I grow envious in my old age. Creatures such as I only have a single lifetime to grasp our dreams. But you, too, have been blessed by the Aether with never-ending youth. I just pray that you are more decisive than His Majesty is. You play with dark forces, Asher, and I fear that it will be the end of you one day. The occult is much like a river rapid. Master its flow, and it will take you farther than you can possibly imagine. But if you are to falter even once, it will drag you down, and propel you to a cruel and terrible destiny. With love, your dear old friend.
Is this prep time? Is it operation time?
I think it's prep time.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead.
Actually gonna be stealing something for once.
I was holding my tongue when y'all were talking about stealing things earlier because of this.
Yeah. Look at us.
Yeah. So,
Look at us.
It's everyone's favorite time where we argue for 30 minutes about what type of plan we're gonna pick. So if everyone goes to page 127 of the PDF,
Woo!
we can choose from assault, deception, stealth, occult, social, or transport.
Stealth.
I like stealth.
I feel like this is
Well,
The only other thing I think it could be is transport, really.
We're transporting ourselves through the area.
I feel like this is more a stealth, but I could see an argument for transport as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's more stealth.
We're assaulting the air in this area by stealthing through it.
Who knows? We might be engaging with a supernatural power.
You don't know. You do know. Actually, I will say, anytime you hear anything about the Immortal Emperor and anything involving his court, you should know that the Emperor is a nearly deific entity. How much of that is actually true and how much of that is just Imperial propaganda, you don't exactly quite know, but what you do know is that the Imperial soldiers that sometimes appear throughout the town have very powerful magical equipment and are not to be fucked with, unless you want to probably lose your life.
Do we know the size of this package?
No, you just know that it is a package that apparently is very clearly a box from royalty. Like, it is very obvious that it is.
Swear to God, if there's a person in this package.
It's Borat 2.
C2.
Yeah, I think we're
wants
going to go stealth.
Okay. But yeah, so there's probably there's a good chance there's some magical mumbo-jumbo going on with whatever's in this box, I will say, just what you all know of the Emperor. The Emperor also is on a series of floating isles called the Floating Cradles that are not possible to, like, physically get to without knowing some magic yourself. It's a whole thing, but anytime you hear anything involving the Emperor, just know that there's some weird magic powerful shit going on, so... Yeah, if we're choosing stealth then our detail that we have to choose is going to be the point of infiltration.
So...
I will clarify on this map that we're looking at here that this thing going on here, there's like a loading ramp that leads to this warehouse that belongs to Wilma.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm going to guess the arrows are probably not where we should enter through.
I mean, it could be if you want to enter through the back where all the cargo is loaded. There's also just obviously like a front entrance kind of off the road. And that's about all you know from the detail that Andrew can give you.
Okay, so this would be the back.
That would be the back, yeah. That's where all the stuff
Okay.
is loaded from the docks when they come in. And obviously, the docks and then the black is just water. So.
Yeah, alright. Well, I guess it depends if anything's in right now, if we want to use that as our point of entrance.
Oh, sorry, you cut out a little bit. What was that?
Oh, it depends on if anything is being taken in right now, if we want to use that as our point of entrance.
I'll cut ahead a little bit and say that by the time you get there, you can see that there wouldn't be anything there.
Okay, then yeah, I'll say that's a fine point of entrance, if no one has any disagreement.
It could be guarded. You don't necessarily know either, so...
It's okay. If it's guarded, we can just take him out.
Yeah, well, I would like to remind you that there are super cops who...
Well, there's RoboCop.
Yeah, it's...
We'll say, if push comes to shove, we do have the docks and water immediately behind us.
Yeah, we can just push people into the water.
We can shut...
But again,
Well,
only if push comes to shove.
what was that about the super cops again, Claire? That you were...
the super cops that when you kill someone, they magically show up.
Oh, yeah, them. Okay.
I didn't mean we have to kill them. We just need to, seriously injure them so that maybe they die later when we're gone.
I will say, though, too, a common tactic that people... Yeah, I think someone else said... Sorry, I was reading a rule because we're doing something special here, actually, that I'll talk about later. But yeah, the Bloodhounds are basically left unable to track what exactly happened if the body is, like, thrown into, like, say, the water here. Because then the Raven loses the scent of where the body is, and then the Bloodhound can't get there. Yeah.
Is me, I'm the smartest person here.
This is a good point to raise.
But I still think that we should only kill if absolutely necessary. Which, again, push comes to shove.
Yeah.
If it's them or us, it's gonna be them.
I do have a question about the super cops. Well, I know if, like, say I murdered someone through magic, through my little curses, would the Bloodhounds actually be able to track that?
So, it depends. They are kind of like the government's go-to, like, task force for anything involving supernatural, like, crime. So, if it was very elaborate, they'd probably have a hard time doing that, but I guess what I'd think about it as, like, someone poisoning someone else. Like, that can be a very hard thing to prove, but there are traces and signs and evidence that can eventually lead back to the person who sent it. But it would definitely be harder than, like, oh, this guy got stabbed. But they could theoretically trace it back to you with enough legwork and effort.
Cool. This is important to know for Eliza's future plans. Alright, yeah, I suppose we'll start trying to sneak into Captain Boma's warehouse.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it, fellas.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So are you gonna take the boat basically to the docks here?
No.
No.
Okay.
We should just look at like at least if we take the boat, we park it somewhere like
Further down.
like somewhere where further down the way.
Yeah, that works too. So are you gonna walk here from the north, or are you going to? I mean, you have all the time in the world. You can come in from the north part here and then kind of try to walk around. You could theoretically walk along the docks too. I just wanted to know how much boat action we were getting involved here.
So there's docks, but is there a beach?
No, not right here.
So it's just docks, and then directly under the docks it's just water.
Yes.
Like it doesn't spring out from like a beach.
It eventually, like, if you were to go further west, I'd say the docks eventually do give way to a proper beach. But right here, it's literally just like there's, like, you're on like city ground, and then there's like a stone wall that kind of pops down, and then it's just wooden dock, and then underneath the wooden dock is just water.
Okay.
No sand or nothing.
I feel like this time we should maybe try to be careful about how we approach.
I think we can use this abandoned home as like kind of like a lookout to kind of judge, because like we could see pretty far from here. We could basically see like this entire road and all these buildings right here.
I will say the Kasorian Consulate is also like a 4-story building, and Andrew does chime in and say that, I mean, they're technically allies with Captain Wilma, but also the Kasorian Consulate may have some ties to the Gold Gloves.
Yeah, well, my exact train of thought was the Kasorian Consulate probably has people who can see us sneaking around.
Some of them... Andrew implies that some of them are very, very anti the Gold Gloves, as they try to, I guess what I'll say, the reputation of the consulate in the city is that they're very much so a bunch of diplomats that are trying really hard to suck up to the Imperial Hand, or the king of the Kingdom of Mendebard, essentially. Basically trying to get into his good graces whatever way they can, and often letting down the actual Kasorian populace of the city, as they try to suck up to the Imperial powers. But they want, like, official diplomatic, like, respect as much as they possibly can, and they're desperate for it. But then some of them do have ties to more criminal elements, too. And what I will say, so I mentioned this is a 4-story building. This warehouse is essentially like 1.5 stories. Like it's technically 1 story, but like it has a high, it's a warehouse. It has a high ceiling.
Yeah.
Why don't we come from like this side and kind of use all these buildings as like cover?
Yeah, I was just about to suggest that.
That works too.
Yeah.
This isn't the Salted Lobster, is it?
No, that is not the Salty Lobster. That is just another tavern.
See, we can always go in the tavern and see if we can get any useful information.
I thought you were about to be like, we can see if we can recruit people.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe we could do that too. You never know. Maybe someone might want to help us.
Liquid courage to get them all riled up and be like, let's go.
I decided to do a...
Get them to attack the Kasorian Consulate to provide cover for us.
Oh my god.
I decided to look at a random tavern name generator, and I really like the name The Teeny Squirrel for this tavern.
The teeny squirrel.
Yeah. Let's stop by the tavern and see if anyone's got any useful information.
This is the weirdest type of pub crawl this episode.
Oh yeah, I guess, huh?
I know pub crawl is like a real term, but at first I thought you meant like analogous to a hex crawl.
Gamers,
Maybe like
right?
And like a dungeon crawl.
All right. Are we going to go ahead and decide our load and everything else? It sounds like we basically have everything we need.
Yeah. I'll do a normal load.
Yeah, give me 1 second just because I want to make sure I'm not missing anything in the setup here. Because we still need to do the engagement roll, but I'm not going to do that until we get our get everyone's.
We put the moves on them.
Yeah, until we start schmoovin'. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, let's go through. So, Eliza, you're going normal.
Yeah.
I will say, just right off the bat, So, I feel like, I was thinking about this. I feel like your 2 spirit bottles, one of them, until further notice, will be occupied by Cecilia's residue. I don't know what other better way to put that.
Yeah.
So if you take your spirit bottles, that will include the Cecilia bottle as well as the spare empty bottle that you also have.
Yeah.
There's got to be a better way than residue.
Yeah. Spirit, but like spirit implies like I don't know, whatever. Remnant
the
soul.
Cecilia goo.
Yeah. I think that's worse than residue, honestly. But whatever. Alright, so you're gonna be normal. Who wants to declare load next?
I'll also be normal.
Okay. Alright, we'll leave that to you. Who else?
I'm also normal.
Oh, I didn't mean to roll that. My bad.
Alright. And then Amir, are you going light, medium, heavy, or light, normal, heavy?
I'll go light.
Okay.
Light.
Then the other thing I want to say, because the Hawkband docks are technically our stomping ground, we do have one downtime activity that we are allowed to use that we get as a free activity that we can do while, like, right before the mission starts. Which can range from anything that's on the downtime activities list, basically. I don't know if there's anything that y'all would want to do that would apply here or really help. But if you can think of anything, I am all game.
Does relieve
Give me
stress.
some. Oh my god.
You could
Give me
technically
some
relieve.
prowl.
You could technically relieve stress, but keep in mind though, this is just one downtime activity for the whole group. So.
Okay. Okay, for the whole group, I see.
Yeah, it's not like everyone gets one. That would be intense.
Damn.
Also, I do want to, Claire, you have not yet experienced the bane of overindulging, but when you take part in your vice to heal your stress, if you heal more stress than you actually have, you overindulge, and there are negative consequences that come with that.
Oh.
So healing stress isn't a completely like you're not topping off in a traditional way. You have to kind of play the game of managing it.
Okay. Okay.
So sometimes you want to wait until you have a lot of stress more so.
I don't know about activities, but I have an idea for how we're going to be staking out the warehouse. Or at least as far as what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I mean, we also don't need to use the activity if we feel like we got nothing. I'm totally fine with doing that in this situation because I feel like y'all have a good handle on what you need to do already.
Okay.
You could acquire an asset.
Wait.
Let's acquire an asset.
Whatever y'all would want to acquire.
Let's acquire. I guess are there any uniforms maybe that we could take? Like acquire?
There are a bunch of smugglers. I don't think they're in uniform necessarily.
No, I mean uniforms of like.
Oh, like
the Kasurian consulate.
Oh, So I feel like they wouldn't necessarily have uniforms technically, but I feel like they would definitely have like fancier clothing that they would like.
Yeah, sure. Let's get some fancy clothes. Do they have like name tags or anything? Like,
I feel like you could probably get them like made up or whatever, you know?
okay, yeah. Let's get some fancy clothes and some name tags.
Is everyone down with this use for the?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is everyone going to be fancy clothed?
Sure.
Yeah.
No, actually, I won't be. I'll just be there like I'm a bodyguard.
Okay.
Eliza will wear the fancy clothes.
Okay.
But I'll still have a name tag though. What should my fake name be?
Jace Johnson.
I'll be
Okay.
I'll be Greg.
Okay.
Heffley.
No, just
Like,
let's do Greg Thompson.
Okay. All right, and then Lynthia, what was your plan of action here?
Well, it changes now that we're getting our funny
okay.
uniforms or
Okay.
funny clothes.
Are you still going through the back?
We can stop by the tavern first.
Okay.
You kind of want to incite a riot.
Did you just say you kind of want to incite a riot?
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds like fun.
It does, in its own
It'd
way.
be
Start a
it'd be-
bar
it'd
fight
be
for a
some-
distraction.
It'd be some nice cover.
Well, I'm not saying a bar fight. I'm saying we get the drunk dudes in the tavern to, like, attack the Historian Consulate.
All right, that sounds like a fun idea.
Okay.
Amir, do you have any feelings on the ethics of that?
Oh wait, dog.
Dog.
dog. I mean,
What's the dog doing?
business is business.
What's the dog doing?
What the dog?
The dog is taverning. The dog is allowed in the teeny squirrel.
Yes.
Is everyone going to the tavern right away?
Not in the
Yeah.
fancy clothes.
Yeah, that's a good question. Are y'all in the fancy clothes? Or
No.
not yet? Not yet. Okay.
Not going into the tavern, no.
I'm not going to incite a riot against the Castorian consulate while I'm wearing the fancy clothes of the consulate.
That's what I was like. There's some logistical things we need to think through if this is our plan of action here.
We've
So,
gone through like 6 different
I
plans.
know, like this is like,
It has to work.
like I'm just imagining a heist movie where like the plan is happening. They're like, what if we incited a riot first to make all of this easier, and then like it's just like the script keeps getting revised. So yeah, one of the tenets of this game's principles is you're supposed to come up with the plan and then cut to right when the action starts too. And like I feel like how we're going about this, we get so excited with like, how can we make this ridiculous that we just
Yeah.
it's good though. I feel like this is a good exception to the rules to talk these things
We
through.
fade to black and
All right,
instantly a riot.
Yeah. Okay, so I kind of like throw open the doors of the tavern, you know, just and I walk in.
Vince McMahon your way through the doors.
Yeah. I do that, and Microwave's following me.
Yeah,
I'll also follow.
I think
All right,
Edward's
I
as
go.
well.
And I take a seat at the bar.
Okay, wait, is everyone going then?
Eliza is not going in, but she is sitting outside the tavern, sending hostile energies into it to get them riled up.
Do you want to roll a whisper for that then? Because I feel like that. Okay, so, time to do our engagement roll. So, let me look through our little checklist.
Also, it's probably a good idea that we're not wearing our uniforms first, because if we're trying to incite hate
Yeah.
against the consulate, we're
Well, no,
wearing-
see, that's when you do a false flag operation where you go in wearing their uniforms and start wrecking shit, and
Oh
then you
yeah,
run.
yeah. Actually, let's do that. Let's do that. Actually,
Is that
Now we have 6 plans.
Yes, is that actually what you want to do, or
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do that.
Oh my god.
Eliza is still outside sending her negative energy.
causing a diplomatic incident to steal a
I'm gonna
package?
split the party even further. I'm gonna try to climb up the back of the tavern where there are no windows, up to the roof.
Okay. Does anyone want to
All
call
right.
Mothman and Gasland while we're at it?
Alright. Amir, you're with me. Amir, you're with me.
Okay, hold on. We need to one at a time, people. We need to roll the engagement. So we got 3 different courses of action here, happening to the tavern, which I put on this map assuming that it would just be part of the map. I didn't think this would be important at all. When I mapped this shit out, I just want to state. So we got a 3 pincer attack on this tavern so that we can go to this fucking warehouse and also cause an incident with this consulate.
And do a false flag operation.
I feel like I'm in an episode of Code Geass right now. I know I made that joke earlier, but
It's the meanest thing anyone's ever said to me.
Wow.
okay, so is the operation particularly bold or daring? I think it is, considering what we just talked about. But also, I feel like the operation is also overly complex or contingent on many factors. So, those nullify each other. Does the plan's detail expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest? I don't think
Yes.
going through a back door, I don't think that's a weakness. I think that's just a
Listen, if I walked
Everybody's
into your house
right.
through the back door
No,
and got
no,
you
no.
from behind, you'd be pretty
Because
weak.
we're gonna get the people riled up against the company. You know, that's their weakness. You know, their
No one-
reputation.
No one resists a bunch of drunk people running in. That's a fact.
I don't know if that's necessarily the weakest so much so as, because they wouldn't tackle the actual boathouse. That'd just be a distraction going on while y'all went in. I don't think it's a specific vulnerability of this specific squad or faction. But I'll leave it up to y'all. What do y'all think? Do you want that to be an extra die?
I mean, if it
Sure.
helps, sure.
Why not?
Yeah. Is the target strongest against this approach, or do they have particular defenses or special preparations? They do not, so that's not a...
They aren't prepared.
Can any of your friends or contacts provide insight into the operation? Yes, they did, so that's another +1. Are there enemies or rivals interfering in the operation?
Oh, we don't know.
Yeah, you don't, and I need to think about some things real quick. I don't think they are, actually. I don't think they are. Any other elements that you want to consider? Maybe a lower tier target giving you a +1? No, because they're a little bit above tier. Actually, yeah, I will say they are technically I will say this actually, because you're tier 0 still, they're tier 1. That means that they're a gang that have like about a half dozen or so members, and just have access to they're a little bit higher above the food chain than you all are. But like barely. Like they have a few more people and a few more contacts and maybe a little bit better equipment, but like you're not, it's not unreasonable that y'all would take them out, but because of the tier difference that would probably be a -1, but that's still 2 dice overall, which is still pretty good odds, all things considered, for taking care of these people, let's say. So, it is time to roll for engagement. Public roll. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Can't win them all.
Well, we're gonna start in... We're gonna start in, desperate position here. So...
Alright.
Yo.
Well, Eliza was the one who first prompted the roll, if you remember, as she is hexing the interior of the tavern. This doesn't...
Dark energies.
I will say, being in desperate position, though, doesn't necessarily mean that your roll is going to end up bad. It just means that if something goes bad with the roll in terms of rolling... Basically, if you don't get an immediate success, if you fail, or if you get a if you get a partial success, the consequence is bad. But it's not, you're not in doom and gloom territory. You're just in a pickle, let's just say. So Eliza, do you want to give me a, it sounds like, I'm assuming this is going to be a whisper roll, or attune, I keep saying whisper, that's your class, attune is what you would use for this, with desperate position and standard effect, I'll say.
Alright.
Before I say anything, so I feel like because we're rolling a desperate, I want to give everyone access to their full, I just want to make sure everyone knows their full lineup of possible moves they can move here. So keep in mind when you go to the bottom left of your character sheet, you see all of the different teamwork actions that you have access to, from assisting a teammate doing an action, leading a group action, which, like I said, is when a bunch of people try to do the same thing and the group leader takes the consequences of any bad roll that happens, protecting a teammate from suffering a consequence, or setting up a teammate, which basically means you're setting up it. No, this wouldn't be a setup just yet, I'd say. But setting up a teammate basically means that you do an action which will then help out another teammate do an action. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure we all know that those teamwork actions exist, as well as doing flashbacks whenever we want to try to give us another advantage that way. Or also, just know that when I hit you with a consequence as the GM, you can declare that you resist that consequence, and you'll take some stress damage from that. But it's potentially better than taking the full consequence, especially if harm is involved. So, yeah. One of the core tenets of this game's rulebook too is play your character as if you are driving a stolen car, and I feel like that will serve you well in the mission ahead. So, don't be afraid to get bruised up a little bit.
Alright, we'll go ahead and roll.
Okay, do you want to stress yourself for improved effect or a third die? Or do you want to just roll this straight?
Let's just roll it straight.
Okay. Go for it. Woo!
Good
Like,
start.
what bad could happen?
So what I'm gonna say is, Eliza, you're outside the tavern, and you're weaving a series of hexes on all of the people inside this tavern to basically make them really on edge and kind of pissy. The thing that you fail to consider is that it's late, they're already drunk as shit. They're already a little pissy, in more ways than one. So, Lynthia, I know you're gonna try doing something here, but while this is happening, I do want to say that what's going to happen is our ragtag group here is going to walk in, and because this was a desperate failure, what I'm going to say happens. Well, I need to delete this.
In the corner.
Yeah, you're in the corner. You're in the other corner.
We're just
In
walking
the
in.
spotlight.
Your dog is here too.
Yeah. Can't control him.
Yeah, because I dragged him from the thing, so I have to add it manually every time.
Dang.
So you're all walking through the door, and everyone in this bar, I want to say there's like 12 people. I'm just gonna type drunk into Roll20 and see if we can get any funny tokens. Not any that are useful, that's for sure. Here, hold on. I'm just going to go to the token library. Thank God for the Blades of the Dark team for their, you know what? This looks like this looks like a mean fellow over here, actually. I think I'll go with him. Yeah, there's just 12 Drunken Sailors, which I feel like is probably the name of a novel that was published in the early 1900s. And they all look at you kind of like the meme of the people at the party looking at the viewer in disgust.
Oh, the white women?
Yes.
All right, as we walk in, I tell him, all right, we got to get him mad at the consulate, got to get him rioting against it, make sure they know that we are from there and to get them to be mad.
So, as you're doing this, the consequence of Eliza's hex is going to happen where, they're all already really pissed off and looking for some new shrimp to squash, let's just say. Like, they're itching for a fight. And they all kind of get up in unison and start to approach you. One guy...
Isn't that what we want?
Yes, but you also... I mean, how can I put this? Getting them mad is simultaneously something that you could want, but there are ways to do that without having them immediately attack you. Let's just say as well, too. And that opportunity is just gone, just completely out the window. These people are pissed off. In fact, one of these people is going to throw their bottle and actually hit Ed in the face. Is
this just a thing people do? You walk into a bar and some people are sometimes so pissed off they throw bottles at your head?
When Witch from outside the tavern hexed them to all be super pissed off. Yes.
Sounds like a success. I think I did my job great.
Well, also, if the hex is making them pissed off, why don't they hit each other? Why are they hitting some random person coming in?
Because they're all friends, but they're pissed off at you because you're new and different.
They all bonded over the fact that they look the exact same.
Yeah, they all meatheads. Let me just go.
I guess...
So they're throwing a bottle at Ed's head here. And that is going to reduce Ed to weakened state, which basically means any roll that Ed will need to do, which I don't know how much that's going to happen, he has reduced effect on. But yeah, he's bleeding out of his head, and he's just like, what the fuck? We didn't even say anything yet.
You can't do that. We're from the consulate.
While this is happening, I want to pan the camera outside. Like, I envision, we cut to, outside the window as Lynthia is, looking in, and, you hear, the muffled voice of Chase argue with these people. Lynthia, what did you want to do here? You wanted to climb up to the roof, it sounded like, right?
Yes, and I'm going to declare that I have climbing gear on me.
That makes sense. Because I don't feel like there would be another way for you to get up here.
I can be barehanded.
Oh, hell yeah, you marked it yourself, too. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, you are now on the roof. What are you trying to do up on the roof? In fact, I feel like
I'm going to whip out my spyglass.
Okay. What you looking at?
And I'm going to set it up with a good view of the warehouse.
Okay, so you have a pretty solid view of the warehouse here. What I think you're going to notice is... do I have any other proper tokens here that I could use for this? Maybe not. Yeah, I feel like we'll just have to do this. Yeah, here, we'll just... You notice 2 guard dogs chained up outside.
Everyone in this town have a guard dog?
Specifically a pair.
And they all look the same.
They all look the same. It's really weird.
They got them from the same breeder.
Really bad breeding monopoly going on in Knoxbury, apparently.
It's okay, we can kill one of the dogs and then Chase can take the other.
What I was thinking is that one party member gets to adopt a dog after they kill the other each
This
time.
one's gonna be Oven.
Or it could just be me and my quest to adopt every remaining dog out of every pair.
I can't afford to help my mother anymore. I'm spending my money on dogs.
Spend less money on dogs.
We won't even need to incite riots anymore. We'll just have dogs.
Dog riots.
Eliza, if you adopted a pet, you could become the dog whisperer.
That is true. Eliza would be adorable.
You see both the fact that there is a 2 dogs chained up outside the front entrance of this place. Looking at these, I'm basically starting from the ground level going up. The walls of the building, like a typical warehouse, to let in some light, they have the slit windows up near the top where the wall meets the roof. So, like, that could feasibly be an entryway, but it'd be a really tight squeeze and be hard to get up there, but you do have climbing gear. But more importantly, you do note that on the side facing the road, you can just make out the fact that the warehouse, you couldn't necessarily see this from ground level, but looking at it from your vantage point, you see that the roof of the warehouse does have, like, a skylight, at least on the side you can see of the roof. And it's, like, there's a big chunk of broken glass out of it. That is definitely capable of being jumped down through.
Alright.
You cannot
Maybe we
see
should
any.
figure that out before we decided our point of entry.
Well, so the problem with that is that the point of infiltration, I only gave you the information you had from this map, and you wouldn't have known about the skylight. That's why I saved it for here. So that was the detail I had saved, and I'm very happy, in fact, that it was discovered. It also would have been very funny at the end of the session to be like, oh, hey, there's a skylight, too, that you could have went through. But
The camera pans up as the credits roll, and we just see the skylight.
the roundabout starts to play. You can't see the back by the ramp here in the back entrance, and you can't see the alleyway that is between the consulate and the warehouse either. So that's all you can see from the tavern vantage point. Is that all? Or anything else you want to do while you're up here before we cut back to probably Eliza?
I am gonna kind of very quietly make my way over to where Eliza can probably hear me, and I'm gonna say there are 2 guard dogs at the back.
I think Chase excels at killing them.
Oh, fuck.
Eliza, you could
And
also...
I'm gonna say I could probably get in through the ceiling.
Alright.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Eliza, you can see one of the dogs from where you are, just far off if you look across the street, but the other one's kind of obscured by the home that you're kind of awkwardly loitering outside of.
I mean, they live next to a tavern.
Yeah,
People
they
would-
He looked at-
honestly, I wouldn't want to live in that home. That seems like a raw deal.
What would you
being
do-
between
the consulate, the warehouse, and the tavern.
and honestly, the butcher probably smells bad. Those people probably have a miserable existence.
I'm
That
sure
house costs
rent
$1.
is amazing, though.
Oh, probably.
What would you do if you looked out your window and you saw Eliza standing there?
Eliza, what are you gonna get up to? You see that your hex worked up maybe a little too well. Oh, also, actually, I almost forgot. This is very, very important. Because we are technically in desperate position, anytime you roll a desperate action, you take experience points for the relevant category. So I'm going to give you 1 experience point for your resolve stat. That is at least one bright side.
Eliza.
Yeah, that is at least one bright side of having to roll a action roll while in desperate position.
I think I want to try to. Oh no, so Eliza's whole thing is curses, and obviously there's not like a dedicated mechanic for that.
No, it'd just be attune rolls mostly, or whatever
Because I want,
mumbo jumbo you could figure out with your items that you want to declare to.
yeah, because I want to try to like subliminally put into their heads we should attack the Kasorian consulate.
I mean, you could do that. That'd definitely be an attune.
Alright,
Do you want to... It would be the same roll as last time unless you want to stress or do anything else.
you know, yeah.
You're gonna stress?
Yeah.
Okay, let me...
Oh, I just marked it.
Oh, you did? You marked it? Okay,
yeah.
perfect. Did you mark 2 stress? First,
Oh no, I just marked 1.
it's 2 stress when you push yourself.
Okay.
So, that puts you at 4 if I recall correctly then, right?
Yes.
You are halfway to getting a scar, just so you know.
Yeah. Eliza will probably
Well, a little
relieve
under halfway.
after this.
Yeah. So, you manage to have you're basically further getting them worked up inside the bar to like go like, hey, we need to attack the consulate. You hear a man go, fuck the Cassorians! And he's gonna just take out a throwing knife. And
Sorry, I may have just incited a hate crime.
Yeah. Hex worked a little too well.
I'm
Take
going
a throwing
to.
knife. Is he gonna throw it at me?
Well, here's what I'm gonna say. Ed is gonna be 1. Amir is gonna be 2. Chase is gonna be 3, and I think Microwave will be 4 actually.
No!
No.
Poor Ed.
Oh my god.
I think Ed is gonna take a knife.
I'm gonna catch it.
Oh, do you wanna? I don't think that would be protect necessarily because he's not an actual teammate. He's a cohort. But do you want to roll an action roll to see if you could catch this knife?
Yeah, I'm guessing it would be a finesse.
That sounds like.
Well, no, it's misdirect. Well, it's sleight of hand, I guess. Would that be sleight of hand?
I feel like that would be a finesse.
Or would
thing
that
to
be
do.
like skirmish because it's kind of combat oriented?
I feel like it'd be more of a finesse because that's a very fancy maneuver. I feel like skirmish is in many ways like beating on someone or like wrestling.
Or desperate position.
You are still in desperate position, in fact, which I want to. So, if you're gonna try to do this, and if things go bad, full warning, nasty consequences. So,
Ace loses his football hand.
think about how hard you.
I mean, if I miss, if I like don't get it right, then Ed's probably dead, and that's fine.
Or you take damage.
If I take damage,
It is not fine.
I mean, I can just declare that I have like armor. It's fine.
Okay. If you want to go for it, then if you want to risk it, go for it.
Saurian looking hand armor.
Okay, this is peak.
5.
Okay, so.
This is peak fiction.
I catch it and then I throw it back like in one swift motion.
Okay, You know what? Yeah, I'll say there's 12 of them. We can let that go. You catch it and throw it back, and it's gonna slice one of them real good into the arm. But what I will say is that you caught the blade. So you caught the blade, like literally on the blade's edge. Do you want? So you said you wanted to declare armor, and then just. Do you want to declare your armor and have those be 2 of the slots that you use, basically?
Let me look.
Because I would say that it would probably be level 2 harm, deep cut. Otherwise, alternatively, if you want to turn that into a level 1 harm, you could try to resist.
What does resisting entail again?
So let me just make sure. Resisting is one of the things that I always feel like I forget how I'm doing. But basically, what you do here. So here's the difference between resist and declaring armor. So, when you resist, you choose one of your 3 attributes. So, those are the 3 different stat categories. In this case, since it's physical, it would probably be prowess. And then you resist, you basically you roll for the highest die result from your resistance roll. Oh, wait, no, sorry. Okay, hold on. Let me see here. I just need to make sure. So how this works. So basically, for every stat in that group that you have at least 1 attribute in, that's an additional die, and then we take 6 minus the whatever roll you rolled, like whatever your highest roll was, and that's how much stress you take as the consequence for resisting. But then that level 2 would turn into a level 1 in this instance. It's kind of up to my discretion.
So I would roll 4 dice because I have
4.
No, it's whatever you have
Dots?
at least one in, so it'd be 3 dice, because you have at least one in finesse, prowl, and
So
skirmish.
3 dice and take the highest and subtract it from 6, and that's how much stress I take. Okay.
Yes, but I will also say too, if you get a critical, which is 2 6s, you actually clear 1 stress and successfully resist the action too.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Let's do that. That sounds like fun. How do I roll that with this system?
Just do 3d6. You don't need to do the I think you can just do if you just click on prowess in the character sheet, it'll just let you resist the consequence.
Oh, okay. No bonus dice, I'm guessing.
Nope. All right.
All right. So I rolled a 6.
You take 0 stress from that.
Oh, nice.
But
And I take level 1 harm, which is kind of nothing.
Yeah, so that just means you have less effect on your rolls now. So you are going to have a cut hand is your level 1 harm.
And I'll throw it back at this guy.
This guy. So why specifically this guy? I don't like the cut of his jib.
Yeah, he's I don't like
I like
him.
to think someone else threw the knife and then you threw it back at someone else.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. I threw it back at someone
Palmed
else.
that shit. Air hockeyed it.
All right. I think you cut him pretty good. We'll just roll this all into this one action roll. So like you harmed them fairly well, and they're pissed off. They're all coming for
All
you.
right, and I'm gonna say something like, the consulate will hear about this. This bar will be razed to the ground, and then I'm gonna kind of like look at Amira and say, we gotta go.
Mr. Electric, send him to the principal's office and have him expelled.
You gotta go.
all right, and I just start running out. I like leave.
I feel like, you're all gonna need to roll to outrun these fuckers for one thing. Do you want this to be a group action, or do you want to all roll individually?
Yeah, I think a group action probably works better.
Who wants to be the leader of this group action? It'd be a mirror chase.
I think it would make sense for it to be me, just because of my character's athletic ability.
You were the
Yes.
quarterback.
You're the quarterback.
Did we ever establish what my character did? Was it quarterback?
I don't know if we did or not. I think
Oh,
we
let's
just
just
If
say
you
it was
want to say
quarterback.
you're a
Let's just say it was
runner, I think you would say you're the running back.
Whatever. I mean, a sports guy knows how to run anyway.
Okay, so let me just reread our fun little group action part here. Let me go to the teamwork section of the PDF. Also, if I recall, there are minor differences between how teamwork actions work in this versus Beam Saber, which is the system we're familiar with, so I'm trying my best to make sure that we're getting it right. So I'm just being a little anal about making sure we're following the rules to a T here, because I don't want to fuck this up, basically. So,
Want the creator to DM you on Twitter.
honestly, the
Angrily.
creator of this game seems like a pretty chill dude. I follow him on Twitter, and he is also very pro people doing podcasts of his game. So,
Ooh.
John Harper, if you're somehow listening to this and we did scare you off 5 episodes in, you made a very good game. Thank you. Let's see. So teamwork. I can't search for things in the PDF suddenly. Hold on, let me just... Teamwork. Teamwork, there we go. Page 134. Okay, so when you lead a group action, you coordinate multiple members of the team to tackle a problem together. Describe how your character leads the team in a coordinated effort. Do you bark orders, give subtle hand signals, or provide charismatic inspiration? I feel like in this case, you're probably just leading the escape train, right?
Yeah.
Each PC who is involved makes an action roll using the same action, and the team counts the single best result as the overall effort for everyone who rolled. However, the character leading the group action takes 1 stress for each PC that rolled 1 through 3 as their best result. So, what this means is Chase and Amir, I need you to both do a same action roll, which, what stat do we think we're going for here?
Prowl?
This seems like a prowl.
Yeah.
Running?
all.
It literally says running in the prowl thing. Do you both want to prowl for desperate and
Sure.
Yeah, I think it'll be desperate and chase. You can just leave the effect as standard. I think for group actions, the actual like material thing of harm isn't going to matter for this instance specifically.
The desperate standard
Yeah, just do it standard. We're not going to worry about effect for this one specifically.
4.
Okay, and then we are going to okay.
4.
You
Okay,
also got
also
4.
4.
So
Now, do NPCs have anything to do with it too? Since we have like we have microwave and we have Ed. Like, does that affect it at all or no?
they are not going to affect it, but they might have roles to do later depending on how this goes. In fact, actually, here's what I think here, how this is gonna work is yeah, I don't necessarily know how harm works combined with the group action thing, and I don't really know if there's anything in this PDF that covers that, but
Can I actually? Is it possible that I could help? I mean, we already rolled, so it might be too late. But can I actually like? Is it possible to help out by? Can I just light the place on fire, like declare like a thing I have, and then that'll kind of distract them, which will help us with our escape.
I feel like
With
this
one
could.
Thea on the roof?
I feel like this could be the perfect time to use a flashback.
All right, let's do a flashback. Where I'm thinking like I have a flashback to the time I'm in the gun choir hideout and I'm learning how to make Molotov cocktails.
Okay.
Yeah,
And like
so,
like a shot of you stowing one in your gummy bear pocket.
Yeah, yeah.
use.
yeah, and there's a couple, and I
Do
tossed,
that.
I tossed a couple gummy bears into one, and that's the one that I.
So
And yeah, so at that point, you know, I take it out and I toss it.
okay, so what I need to do.
And I get wait. I would have to declare that. Let's do an unusual weapon. I guess that's what it would be, right? Or actually no. Or could I pass it off as like a lantern? No.
I would say a lantern. We'll use that for now. We can add more stuff to this list too if we want, but I feel like we could add just like lantern. It
All right,
makes
I
sense
clicked
for
it.
now. Did you mark the one stress you got from Amir? Or wait, no, you didn't take any stress from Amir. Actually,
We didn't
never
take any stress because we didn't roll 1 through 3.
mind. Yeah. That's right. My brain.
Good job, team.
Good. Yeah. But we will. So what's gonna work here is flashbacks are going to. So basically, what we're gonna do here is the flashback is going to cost 0 to 2 stress, or possibly more in extreme circumstances, depending on. And this is my discretion based off of essentially how believable it is. So 0 stress would be an ordinary action for which you had easy opportunity. 1 stress would be a complex action or unlikely opportunity.
Actually, do I have to have a flashback if it's an item that I just declared?
Yeah. I mean,
I
I
have
was
to have
gonna give you
flashback
0
for it?
stress anyways.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So,
Then yeah. If it's 0 stress, then sure.
yeah, but yeah, I mean that could work either way. But yeah, I would give you 0 stress for that because it's very believable that you would make a weapon before a dangerous operation. So especially knowing what you knew going into this mission. So,
We're gonna incite a riot.
Exactly,
Having
yeah.
a Molotov cocktail is fairly reasonable, yeah.
So, I think what I'm going to do is the consequence of that 4 is going to be, you are running, but these are people who are also very good at running. So what I'm going to do is
The place is on fire, though.
yeah. But I mean, that doesn't erase the consequence of rolling like you both
Yeah, I
rolled
guess.
before. But the fire will definitely complicate things. So what I think's gonna happen here is it's on fire. I'm going to make this token a 1. And they're still coming after you. as you're running out the door.
What's this clock for?
Dealing with this group, essentially, in the broadest sense possible. The immediate threat that this group of 12 angry sailors represents.
One who now has a gaping knife wound.
While this is happening, Lynthia, I don't know if you probably hear there's a commotion happening underneath you. And Eliza, you can probably see all this happening, so...
You feel the wave
I'm
of
making
heat
magic that makes you so angry at the consorians. Oh, hey, it's working.
Oh god, you wish this green shit healed.
But yeah, I'll say that you three are kind of running out the door as these people are giving chase after, and they seem very pissed off.
Eliza kind of pumps her fist.
You know what? I think I'll actually, because of the fire, because I want the fire to count for something, I'm gonna change this clock to a 2. I think you burned some of them, which just makes me more angry too. But yeah. But
I feel like it's up to me and Lynthia
now.
I'm on the roof, bro.
Well, Eliza, you're in a consulate uniform as well, aren't you?
It's not a uniform. It's like a maybe wearing these.
I don't actually remember if I said that for when we were going in the bar. I think when we said we were going to the tavern, what I had said was I wouldn't be wearing it then.
Okay, yeah. That sounds right, actually. That sounds right.
Because
yes.
I said that before they decided.
I couldn't remember what layer of our Inception third act plan that conversation happened.
Yeah, because that was before they said they're gonna go in. I was like, okay, I guess I'll be outside Xing them.
Okay, yeah. So they wouldn't be pissed off at you. But you are just out the door. These people are all about to come running out the door. If you do nothing, they are surely to descend upon you. Chase, Amir, and Microwave.
I'm gonna get out of the way.
Do you want to continue running, or are you gonna try to? What's gonna happen here?
I'm gonna try to start sneaking around. Do I?
I feel like you're in a position where I don't even think you need to roll for that. I think you're fine, especially because you're not in the uniform. So you just want to get out of the danger zone, essentially.
Yeah, I'm gesturing to Lynthia. I'm I think we're gonna have to do this ourselves.
Uh-oh.
All
right. I'm gonna start moseying on down.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna say you and Eliza, the back of the bar, you two just meet up.
The thing about girl bosses, we get shit done.
I don't think Eliza qualifies as a girl boss.
That's my stand. I make everybody a girl boss.
Oh damn. Chase and
That's
Amir,
feminism, baby.
What are you gonna do to deal with this crowd?
So hold on, let me look at what I could possibly declare. Arcane implements. No. Let's see. What's Rage Essence again?
Rage Essence. A single dose which greatly enhances the user's strength, resistance to pain, and irrational aggression for the span of several minutes. The GM will modify your position and effect accordingly when you fight on Rage Essence. Also, you suffer 2 consequences: can't tell friend from foe, and can't stop until they're all broken.
That doesn't sound like a good idea right now. Let's do. Actually, is it possible that as I run out the door, I have an item that doesn't count for load called Manacles and Chain? Can I possibly use that to kind of block the door closed?
Ooh,
so
I like
they can't
that.
escape?
I like that a lot, actually.
Oh god, I'm making them trapped inside a burning building. wait, no, we need them to go right.
Out into attacking
Wait, no,
the consulate.
But they'll break out the windows. But it should slow them down.
But it'll slow them down enough for you to escape, which is the major.
Yeah. I was gonna say the whole point is we need them to riot. We can't kill them in the bar.
I just love I need to know now so badly if Chase Johnson went the bed as a child, because we had killing the dog, locking people inside a burning building, like you're stalking some poor girl through the woods, carving triangles into trees.
He's just doing what he feels he has to.
Just an upright football boy.
He's just doing what he feels he has to help.
Exhibits the entire dark triad. He's turned into like a dark hexad.
But yeah, use my manacles and chain to block up the door, which should help with the escape.
I am going to have you roll for this.
What am I rolling? Finesse?
I think finesse would be... I mean, I would let you do skirmish too if you really want, because I feel like you'd probably be wrestling with, you know what I mean? Like you'd be wrestling with the door, with people trying to push out or whatever too.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you want to stress yourself at all?
No. I'll do desperate standard, correct?
No, because you're wounded, so that standard turns into limited, I believe.
A level 1 wound does that?
Yeah, you can see it on the harm thing on your character sheet. Level 1 wound is less effect, level 2 wound is 1 die penalty, and level 3 is you can't move without taking stress.
Dang, maybe I should have done with the armor.
You can also keep in mind you can push yourself to improve that less effect back to standard as well.
Yeah, but that's just for one instance. Now all my rolls are gonna be less effective. Can I like retroactively like declare armor? Like I'm wearing like some nice gloves? Or no, I can't. It's too late for that.
Yeah, because typically how the rules go with this is that like you don't typically want to retcon necessarily.
Okay. I just wasn't sure if I was allowed to. Okay. I guess I'll just do a straight roll. So it's
yeah, a desperate position, limited effect for 2d6.
Desperate, limited,
and limited basically means that you. Okay. So, yeah, what I think happens here is you manage to bar the door. It's going to be, because of the limited effect, it's only going to be 1 further tick on the clock. I think one of them is going to start on fire and just fucking die.
Oh, yikes.
What I will say is that these people have gotten a little smart to what you're doing here, and they are pissed off enough. They're just going to jump through the windows. And their buddies are going to try following suit. Some of them are still trying to get, like the majority of them are trying to get the door broken down, and it seems like if they all exert enough of their drunken rage against it, that door's probably going to come crumbling down, and you got to worry about the people from the sides. But you have made pretty substantial progress on dealing with the Angry Sailor group, who are now 11 Angry Sailors.
Jerry, you were a real one.
Yeah, I didn't mean to kill anyone, but I guess
you just
locking someone in a burning building tends to do that. It turns out.
Yeah, well,
it's totally went to bed as a kid.
It's fine.
Amir,
it'll be okay.
Amir, do you want to try doing anything to help out with this situation here? Do you feel like you got anything to do that you want to contribute?
I'm gonna use my command. I'm gonna stress myself. I'm gonna be like, yo, if you want to take out your anger, take it out on the consulate. Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to? Oh god, I just realized we need to be, because these have all been desperate rolls, so we all need to okay, so the first desperate roll was Eliza's attune. Eliza, you rolled a second attune, which means we need to give you another level in that, actually.
Yeah.
I've been needing to mark XP for all of these. Chase, you rolled a finesse.
I've made a couple rolls.
You've made a couple rolls. So finesse, prowess. Oh wait, no, the resistance doesn't count. But you made finesse, the prowl, and skirmish. So you get 3 all in that category, actually. Which means you're 1 away from a level up.
Nice.
So, you know, this is going well. You're taking harm, but for a reason. And then, oh, Fang, you actually leveled up, so if you want to put an extra point into prowess somewhere.
Oh, no, I only marked it. I mean, I marked one.
Oh, you marked
from,
it?
like, the group roll. Yeah, already, so.
Oh, okay.
But.
Yeah, then you're one away. You're one away. I didn't know if you had marked it. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I should have reminded everyone of that, because we're still in the desperate position. So yeah, you want to command, so that's 2 stress. I think I added that to your sheet already.
Yeah.
Yep. Do you want that to be improved effect, or an extra die?
Extra die.
Alright, then roll a command and put bonus, position will be desperate, standard effect, and 1 bonus die.
Bonus 1. 5. Oh, ooh, good bonus die. Mark XP for that.
Yeah. So.
Do they have to be successes to get experience?
No, it's just any roll you make while in desperate position. So you managed to scare these 2 dudes off with your commanding words, and they regroup after lingering on what you said, and like, oh yeah, fuck, we gotta attack the consulate. So
yeah, let's ignore these guys who directly affected us to go attack their organization.
yeah.
It was a success, don't question it.
I think the consequence for the partial success is that while this is happening and you're all kind of in a stupor, the wild hogs appear. 30 to 50 feral hogs appear now. The doors are starting to buckle in and break down. You need to get out of here, like, now.
Alright, let's run away.
Do you want to do a group action again?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah.
I'll lead it. I'll lead it again.
Okay. Yeah, and I'll say if you succeed on this one, you're gonna get out of your desperate position. So.
Okay, so I click on prowess for this one again, right?
Yep. Oh no, because that's for resisting. You just roll a regular.
Oh, that's resisting. That's right.
Yeah,
so I roll a prowl.
A regular prowl. Yep.
And desperate.
Desperate and limited effect, but it won't really matter because we only have 1 progress clock to tick anyways. So, and then Fang, you do the same.
Oh shit, a 3.
Uh-oh.
Good
Well,
5.
but Fang got a 5.
So I take 1 stress then.
You take 1 stress. So mark
Okay,
that.
I just added it.
And then Fang, you just leveled up for a prowl.
And I level up too, right?
Yeah. So what point do you want to put that all in? I'm looking at a mirror sheet right now.
Oh, gone.
Yeah, I mean, just go ahead and mark it. I cleared out.
I'll put it into prowl. You know, since I basically I got all the experience doing prowl. I'll just put it into prowl. You know, just...
and that puts you at 3 pips, right? Oh no, 2 pips. Okay, just remember the 4th pip is technically locked for everyone right now. And then Fang, you put yours into prowl. It looked like.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
Big runners.
you effectively evade the group, but I will say again, one of them is going to throw a rock from the street at you. One of these 2 that came out from the side due to the partial success. So I'm gonna do another random target, going in order from top to bottom here. Poor Ed.
I'm not gonna I'm not gonna
even
catch
bring
this one.
him.
I'm not gonna try to catch this one.
What? Has he pulled his weight at all?
Listen, if you're gonna cause a diplomatic incident against the Kassorian consulate, it might as well be the 2 Kassorians spearheading it, right?
Okay, I'm gonna. Can I do an enhanced prowl to dive into the way to push him out?
Do you? So you want to stress yourself? What do you mean by enhanced prowl?
You just leveled it up.
Oh.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. No, I just. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and do a get down, Mr. President.
It's kind of like those moments in like the Pokemon TV show where the Pokemon will evolve just to like save someone. This is like him leveling up his crowd just to save Ed.
The hat gets a little bit bigger.
What? Okay, wait. Are you still in desperate? Or are we now in like?
You are in desperate still.
I thought you said we were. Oh, you said once we're done.
Once we're done escaping, and this will. I mean, this is still in that action, but yeah, after this, you'll probably be back to risky.
No.
Maybe
Taking
not.
one for the team.
Do you want to resist that or declare armor? Keep in
I'll
mind you have a
declare
light
armor.
load. What?
I'll declare armor.
All right, you have
Okay.
declared your armor and used it. The knife goes straight into your ribcage.
I thought it was a rock.
Oh yeah, it was a rock. The rock goes straight to your like rib cage and would have caused some damage had you not prepared with some padded underneath armor in your clothing. Keep in mind, since you took a light load, that means you only have one extra item spot left, Amir.
That's fine.
But you have used your armor.
All right, and we escape, and they don't know. And
yeah, you managed to outrun them, go through like the back alleys, like kind of around the building or whatever. And Ed's like, I owe both of you one. And Microwave seems a little frantic.
we could talk about what you owe after we're done the mission.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put you all over here. Lynthia and Eliza, while your friends are getting into sailor troubles, and the building you're next to seems to be on fire, what are you up to?
I think we'd be waiting for an opportunity for the people at the warehouse to be distracted, so we can.
Yeah.
All right, are you waiting for the
I'm gonna. Good.
Are you waiting for the gang to go cause mayhem up at the consulate?
Yes. While we wait,
Yeah.
I'm gonna debrief the group on how there's a crack in the skylight, and also there's 2 guard dogs in the back.
Front, but yeah.
We'll have to see. Maybe the guard
It
dogs
looks
will
like-
go and like check out whatever's going on, since there's kind of like going to be some chaos happening shortly.
This is true.
So
I'd imagine that these sailors are probably going to rile other people up, like their friends who weren't at the bar, and it's going to be like a bigger crowd than just 11 of them.
Walking on the doors. Yeah, we're riding.
I'm going to roll a fortune. That's a good point. I'm going to roll a fortune roll to see how successful they are in that. Very successful.
Everyone.
Hold on, let me
Everyone's
just.
fucking pissed.
Yeah.
I think we organized a labor strike.
Yikes.
Holy shit!
Amir, I have a question for you. So you're a big famous businessman from the from the Kingdom of Kasuria. Do you think you would know one of the diplomats who worked here, or do you not associate with these bootlickers?
I don't like. I feel like they're like more government people, and Amir tries to keep his head down.
Even though some of them are underworld associated, they're not associated with anything you've ever done, so you don't know any of these people. I will say,
I'm all about the industry.
You notice a man in a very fashionable Kasorian hat getting swamped by angry men.
Jesus Christ.
And they seem to be roughing him up pretty bad, and people are like throwing tomatoes at him. And
Are the dogs involved?
Uh,
like what are the dogs doing in reaction? I'm guessing they'd run either or
What's the
fight or
dog
like run
doing?
away, right?
So the dogs are chained to the front of the warehouse, but they're riled up. They're fully focused. Like they want in on the action, and if it weren't for their
let's
leash,
go help them out. Let's let them free.
The dogs.
I'm assuming
See,
y'all. I'm assuming y'all change clothes at this point, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, maybe we shouldn't, because then I'll get them mad at us again.
You know what? Do you want that anymore? I mean, you accomplished what you needed to by making them mad.
Yeah, but if we change into like the Kasorian like style clothes, they'll see us walking down the street and they'll get pissed off.
And attack you, yeah.
Yeah, we don't
How
want
about-
that.
let's wait until we get inside that warehouse to change our clothes.
Why do you want them to attack you? I'm so
Yeah,
confused.
No, I said we don't want them to.
Yeah.
Yeah, take your
okay.
Kasorian clothes off.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Okay,
I
okay.
thought you meant change. I thought we meant change into them.
No, change out of.
Okay,
No.
yeah, never mind. Yeah, we take them off.
Okay.
Take them
trying
off,
to
and
think
maybe when we get to like the warehouse, we can put them back on.
What would that do?
I don't know, just in case there's anybody in there that's Kasorian.
I'm gonna roll for something real quick because I'm curious how this would.
But yeah,
Okay, nothing happens.
since I have microwave and he's a similar dog to them, you think that him being with us by like association would make these dogs like in this wild chaotic situation, like if we were to approach the dogs and like let them go, that the dogs would just like go and like, you know.
So what I will say is I
whatever
don't
it
think microwave even factors into this. These dogs want in on the action no matter
All right.
what. So if you free
I
them,
guess-
they
I'm trying to think of
probably-
how to.
Yeah, let's go there. Let's go there and free them.
What I will say though is it would be kind of hard for you to do this without some of these people in the crowd would probably notice you doing this.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you still could, but some of them would probably be like, "Hey, what the fuck's going on there?" You know.
Already
Is
gotten
the
enough
chain-
attention.
Is the chain mounted inside, or is it just like on a post outside?
I think there's posts real close to like the actual wall of the warehouse.
Is
like-
there a door near the wall?
Yeah. So how I'm envisioning this is that like the door is between these two dogs, and there's one dog per post.
Okay.
Like there's a
Here's my
post on
point.
either side of the door, like the main entrance.
All right. I have my climbing gear. So my plan is I'm going to climb into the warehouse through the skylight. I'm going to sneak out the back, open the door, declare burglary gear, bolt cutters, and cut the chains without them seeing me.
Hold on. So like, repeat that. Okay, so you're climbing up with climbing
Okay.
gear, going in through the skylight,
Yes.
and then
Sneaking around to the front, to the door.
Oh, and you can let
Hacking it.
us in that way.
Yeah. Taking bolt cutters, cutting the chain, and then as the dogs go and get in on the action, I let everybody else in.
okay. I will say like, because the post and the dogs are all outside, like I feel like no matter what way you slice it, unless you distracted the group, like they would probably see you cutting the chain.
Are they pretty distracted by this one guy here, though?
They're beating the shit out
But
of
the
them.
problem is there's a huge, like this is a massive group. Some of these people would see you. They're not all specifically looking at this guy, that you know. They're probably looking at other ways to get to the consulate too over here, and like they'd be looking in your general direction. So like while their attention isn't necessarily on the warehouse, like if you're doing some shady shit up by the warehouse, they'd be like, "Hey, what's going on?" You know what I mean? They'd see, and you don't necessarily know how they react, even though you're not in the
Does anyone from
uniforms
the
anymore.
warehouse seem to be going to investigate this?
No. You may have noticed the 2 I rolled. I probably should have spoiled that, sorry, but you haven't seen, in fact, other than these dogs, you have seen none of the Wilma crew.
That really didn't accomplish what we wanted it to.
I mean, we probably won't have to deal with the dogs at all.
I mean, and
We've inspired a hate crime.
what I was going to say is that climbing up this eastern wall, now that basically half of the city, or not half the city, but like, you feel like this home and the homes, these apartment, like, people aren't looking at this part of the wall. It would be very easy to climb up this, even though it's facing a street, Lynthia, because everyone is over at the consulate, you would be able to climb up this warehouse pretty easy
Alright.
from this
I'm
eastern
thinking
wall.
about changing the plan. Because I know how to get myself in, but the problem is going to be getting other people in.
Yeah, I mean, there is still the back way. Like, if you wanted to infiltrate from the roof and try to open up the back, that could possibly, you know what I mean? You don't. The problem is you haven't looked at the back part of the house yet, the warehouse yet, and like you don't know what's going on over there, and you also don't know if there's anyone inside. But I mean, you could feasibly, with specifically if you want to get people inside without having this large group noticing suspicious that's going on, you could climb up, go through the skylight that's broken, open up the back door, and everyone could get in, and this group would be none the wiser.
Is there
I'm
a
doing that.
possibility that since a rope is a part of climbing gear, that she could climb up there and like toss us the rope, and we could climb it without using climbing gear?
I feel like that probably.
Is that a thing we can do?
I feel like that would probably what my heart says with that is. Because at first I was just going to say yes, but then I was like, but that wouldn't make sense because that would kind of break the item mechanic. So what I think I'm going to do, but that does make sense, like, logistically speaking, I think what I'd say for that is that Lynthia could get up no problem with the climbing gear, and if everyone wanted to follow suit without
We'd
declaring...
have to roll.
Yeah. I think that's a good compromise in that situation.
I think I'd rather her just open it for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eliza
that
is
works
not
well.
the athletic type. She did play
She is
volleyball
anemia.
when she was in college.
All right, I guess
It wasn't
if you want to do
average.
that.
All right, fellas.
All right.